Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most frequently discussed topics in the news and politics, unemployment rate. So, what is the unemployment rate? In macroeconomics, unemployment rate is the percentage of adults who are in the labor force and actively seeking jobs, but they are not employed. To understand this, we generally categorize the adult population into specific groups. Uh, the employed group is people working for pay. The unemployment group is people who are out of work but are actively looking for a job. Labor force is employed plus the unemployed. Out of the labor force group is people who are not working and not looking for job regardless of the whether they want a job or not. So who counts? When we calculate unemployment rates, we only count the work-eligible population. This means people who are non-institutionalized, such as not in jail or long-term care, and over the age of 16. The working age population is split into labor force and not in labor force. The labor force means people who are already employed or actively seeking work. On the other hand, who is considered out of the labor force? This includes retired people, stay-at-home parents, the military, full-time students without jobs, and discouraged workers. The labor force can be divided into employed and unemployed groups. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, you are officially employed if you did any work for pay or profit during the survey week, or if you performed at 15 hours of unpaid work in family business, or if you have a job but were temporarily away, perhaps for vacation or illness. In contrast, to be officially unemployed, you must meet the three conditions. First, you are not employed during the survey week. Second, you are available for work. Third, you made a specific active effort to find a job within the last 4 weeks. To find the unemployment rate, we use this formula. The unemployed divide by the labor force and then multiply by 100. Remember, the denominator is the labor force, not the entire population. Another key economic statistic is the labor force participation rate. This can tell us what percentage of the total adult population is actually interested in working. The formula is labor force over the working age population and then multiply by 100. The official rate doesn't always reflect the full picture. We also consider hidden unemployment. The underemployed are people who are working jobs below their skill level. The discouraged workers are those who stopped looking for jobs because they don't think jobs are available. Let's look at the breakdown from January 2021. The working age population is about 262 million people. Of those, about 155 million were employed, and about 7 million were unemployed, and about 100 million were out of the labor force. Given the numbers, the labor force participation rate was 62%, and the unemployment rate was 4.2%. Now that we know how to calculate the unemployment rate, let's look at how it behaves over time. If you look at the historical data, you can see a ups and down pattern. When the economy enters a recession, the unemployment rates go up. When the economy grows, the rates drop. However, there is no long-term trend. Instead, the rates has consistently moved toward a range of the 4% to 6%. This suggests that while the economy fluctuates, it has a natural baseline it tends to return to. Next, let's break the numbers down by gender. In the 1950s, 60s, or 70s, women historically had much higher unemployment rates than men. Since the 1980s, the gap has closed. In recent decades, the rates for men and women have moved very close together. Let's look at the relationship between age and unemployment. As you can see, the unemployment rates are the highest for very young workers. This is because the young workers are often in a transition phase. They are moving between school and work, looking for the first real job or frequently changing jobs as they figure out their career path. As workers get older and gain more experience and skills, their unemployment rates typically drop. Elderly workers have the lowest unemployment rates because they retire the work and exit the labor force. Finally, look at the unemployment rates in terms of ethnicity. Overall, each rate tends to rise and fall together, but the level is not equal. Historically, the unemployment rate for African Americans has stayed about twice as high as the rate for white people. The unemployment rate for Hispanic people generally sits in the middle. These gaps reflect the structural issues in the economy, such as educational opportunities, geographical access to jobs, and so on. Thank you for watching this lecture.